have ever traveled on the DLR, you found out DLR did not have a driver. Thank you for starting with DLR. The Docklands Light Railway was started up in 1987. The Queen and the then Mayor of London and the leadership of London agreed to what is called an experimental trial of driverless train. So if you're in London, particularly East London or Southeast London on the DLR, you will know what DLR is. And the full operational details of DLR should not be public, because if it's made public, some of us, some members of the public, and some of my age will not use that means of transportation. Why? Because we are used to seeing a driver. So if we now get on the train where there is no driver, psychologically, we will be afraid that it may go wrong or something may go wrong with it. So it has been in the woodwork since 1987. Okay, I want to ask another question. Of all of us on this chat, how many of us use AI? Type AI if you use AI. If you don't use AI, type never. Please go on the type. I need to know how the audience is here. Type AI if you've ever used AI. Thank you, Henry. Thank you, Benga. Thank you. Thank you, Elewachi. Thank you. How many of us? Never. Samuel, you said you've never used AI. Okay, thank you. Olumide said, thank you. Please, I need a survey. I need all of you to type either AI or never. Okay. Those of you that typed never, thank God for you. I'm going to give you a free ticket to come to LSC, the economics on Tuesday. Although those of you that also typed, you're welcome. Somebody has been lying to you, because if you have a card and you have ever used the DLR, you have used AI. Number two, when you in Microsoft Word and you misspell anything, what tells the correct spelling? Like now, if I was typing on Microsoft Word and type entrepreneur and forgot to put it there, Microsoft would tell me I forgot to put a P there. Ladies and gentlemen, that AI. That was not Steve Jobs. So I need everybody here to be on the same page, understand one certain fact, that this technology that has come in your. So please, I don't want you to say it came after my time, therefore I am not interested. And what is My name you are can you see so that that what loyalties to help children, and that's what she liked when she visited. So I'll just give you a simple example. That if you are in any job today that requires writing, dictation of any form or shape, there is better GPT that can do it for you. So now I want to ask any member of the audience a question. This question goes to somebody that has never met me before. Even though you've never met me before, the question is to you. How many of you here have been thinking of writing a professional book, a technical book, or any general? Please go to the chat box now and write book and write the theme of your book. To write about marriage, were you going to write about relationship, were you going to write about weight loss? I need to go to the chat box now because I'm going to show you. I'm not interested in theory of AI. The theory of AI is well, and my friend Jeffrey, he's the godfather of AI. He was the ChatGPT. I will share some of the things that we discussed. Okay, somebody was thinking of writing a book on financial management. Thank you. Was thinking of writing a book. Today, I want to show you how to write a book. Using how long have you been thinking of a book, sir? All of you to be active. If somebody is thinking of writing a book on financial management in chat, who else is thinking of writing a book? 5 years. Now, who else was thinking of writing a book? Or who else was thinking of writing a book? Thank you. Frequently asked questions about what? AML and C. Write it in full. Innovation and new business development. Thank you. We are going to tackle the multifaceted versatility of AI. And I want everybody on this call to go tonight understanding that is either you embrace AI or you tackle that. Or you become another blockbuster. You know the blockbuster video? The blockbuster video did not understand Netflix. They were still renting out videos. when the wind blew, they resisted it. And if you are a doctor on this call, or you are a lawyer on this call, or you are an accountant on this call, or you are any professional on this call, I need you to make a note of this. You have to follow up. Your role and responsibility changed the day the fax machine was made obsolete. Your role to write a letter to a specialist, or refer a patient to another hospital, or to document the history of the patient, the treatment of the patient. All of that changed the day the fax machine went obsolete. If you're a lawyer and you have your case to go to court, all of that, I'm sorry. The way you practice law before can never be the way you are going to practice law in the new dispensation. Because AI is not going to take the job from you. Your professional colleagues that are used have already taken the job away from you. Please, did you hear that? AI will not take the job from you. You saw the book I wrote on Princess Diana. Technically, I didn't write the book, but the book has been given special awards. And it was my name that was called up to come and receive the award. I was asked to come and talk about girl empowerment because of the book I wrote on Princess Diana. It wasn't really me that wrote it. Every single word, every comma, every full stop was by AI. And I even wrote it on the cover of the book, that this book, write it. I only edited it. Now, even able to generate, listen to this, listen to your voice. AI is able to generate, listen to this, your speech pattern. AI is able to see and recognize macular degeneration, a disease. AI, because I don't want to bore you with technicality, just assume you have somebody in front of you that has read all the books published in Gutenberg. That means since the first book was published, imagine that person has also seen all the images generated in of time, whether they were drawn or photographic. Just imagine that. And just imagine someone who heard all the songs ever sung by men and watched all ever developed in Hollywood and all of that is half.
We're hearing them now. Yeah.
Did you hear that? That is not all of AI, that is. So if you this call and think that your professional and responsibilities will not change 7 to 12 months, very carefully, I'm not a predictor of events, but from what the government is doing in Europe to what the American government is saying, what Biden said yesterday, who heard Biden talk about AI yesterday? President Biden of the United States of America made a statement. You saw that. If you didn't hear, sorry, you need to see and understand that this thing is not a joke. It's going to decide who stays in your profession, is your profession. It's not going to say the way we were taught pen and paper, that's the way life is going to be. No. Life has changed, but it didn't change with a bang like some religious people told us. It changed without notice. So please listen now to the book we are going to take as an example and watch all your stopwatch. I want you to time me how fast I will finish writing this book now, thanks to the power of better than ChatGPT. We're using a newer version than ChatGPT. If you are a priest, entire sermon for 1 year can be generated in a matter of minutes with only one prompt. My own entire academic year's work, including the PowerPoint slides, was generated 7 minutes. 7 minutes. Any training, and you do not use the latest tools, you are doing things the hard way, and it's painful. That you are spending too much time on when you can spend more time with your family. Now let's go and do what I promised. Somebody's thinking of writing a book on money laundering and counterfeiting. Frequently asked questions about anti-money laundering and counterfeiting. That, and we are going to ask everybody. Look now. I'm going to share the screen again. This is. I've not met this person before, and I didn't even know he was writing a book. So everybody, you can see my Google now. If I type it on Google, look at what Google is going to tell me. These ways. Go. And I'm hit enter. You see what it gives me? Ask questions about money laundering, counterfeit, terrorist financing. All right? This is what gave us. All right? Now let's go on. Let's go and ask it. Let's do it the AI way. All right? All right. Let's go do the AI way. So to go to my sets. Okay. If you have a nervous disposition, look away now. It's going to be more than magic. So now, it says, ask any question. It's got the answer to it. So, and I'm going to put here that we are going to write a book. Okay. That we want to write a book. We want to write a book. Write a book about frequently asked questions in counterfeiting. Full stop. Please generate a book outline which can become a New York Times bestseller.
Prof, our screen is blank.
So we want it to be a New York Times bestseller, right? And we are telling it must be original. It must be original. It must be original. How many chapters do we want it to be? Original? Contain 10 chapters and contain 10 chapters. 10 chapters. Audience do we want it for? New general audience, and it should be for the average, because you don't want to, let's say this for the average. Okay, for the adult. Adults. Okay. Now put your stopwatch. Who has stopwatch? I want somebody to put the stopwatch on. Please put the stopwatch on, and I'm going to hit it.
Hello, Prof.
We can't see anything. The screen is blank.
Okay, let's start again. Okay, if you can see, see the screen now?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, now can you read what I wrote there? We want to know about frequently asked questions and answers at I think it should be about anti-money laundering and counterfeit terrorist financing. Please generate a book outline which can become a New York Times bestseller. It must be originally contain 10 chapters. It should be for the average adult. So can you see that now? Can everybody see that? Can you all see that? If you can see that, type here. If you can see what I just wrote now, type, because I don't want to lose anybody here. We did it on Google. Now we are going to do it on AI. You now see why I don't do anymore. My students that use Google, I penalize them. Thank you. You can see it now. So I'm going to type. Now I want your clock or your stopwatch. I'm pressing now. I'm going to count 5 to 0. When I press 0, you press your stopwatch. So how long it will take my AI to the book chapters, right? Let's count down 5, 4, 3, 1, and then 0. I'm hitting it now. The blue knob. Look, ladies and gentlemen, how many seconds did it take? How many seconds did it take? How many seconds did it take? Book chapter is ready. Look at it. Introduction. Chapter 5, chapter 6, look at that. And then at the end of it, it gives, and they ask me some related question. Ladies and gentlemen, when I say a book can be produced in minutes, this is what I'm talking about. All I read it now and edit it. It will take me longer to read it than to generate it. I'm a speed reader. I read up to 2,000 words, 1,500 words a minute. So I'm able to clean that up. So the next, we got our book chapter ready. We got our book chapter ready. Test it and say, which is the best chapter this type of book? Give us a title. Please suggest this book. So we can ask it. Please suggest 7 top titles which will capture the audience, which will captivate our target audience. As I'm typing in now, okay, look at that. Please, it's correcting me because I use capital letter. Now, again, I want you to watch out because I want to time it. How long will it take to suggest 7 top titles for the book? For our book, captivate our target audience and make it a bestseller. So, and make the book a bestseller. Okay, are we ready to go now? Let's count down again. 4, 2, 1, and 0. Look at what happened now. Look at how long it took it. Can you see how long it took it? Look at the title of the book. Number 1 is Dirty Money. How? Look at what happened. Following the Money, a guide to terrorism financing exposed, a comparison to know your customer, a quick reference to the future of crime, money laundering or mass. Can you see the title he gave us? I suggested this, I was writing this book. Can you see what I'm talking about now? Use one title and then use the other one as a subtitle. So it's giving us the title of the book. Right, okay, now let's go to the first chapter. We want to write the first chapter of the book now. Okay, here's the first chapter. Can you all see? I've moved it back now. I now select. Anybody that can click on select. I've selected it. Copy. I take it to the bottom here. Ask it. I want my AI to write the book. It's writing the chapter of the book so I can read it. So now please generate chapter 1 of our highly anticipated, because we are now looking for it because we've got the content highly anticipated book under the chapter entitled, you can talk to it, it's like sending a little boy speech marks here now. So that you know the title, introduction, and then speech marks on the last word. Ladies and gentlemen, who's got the stopwatch again? Timekeeper. Because I must deliver on my promise. You will be able to write a book in a matter of. We have not spent 1 seconds to generate the outline of the book. Another few seconds, get a subtitle. Third thing, now we want to write the first chapter. And it's going to ask us a question, but I want to preempt the question. Generate chapter 1 of a highly anticipated book. How many words do we want? Generate 1,500 or 1,200 or 1,200 words. Chapter 1, can you see? We want the number of words. We want it to chapter 1 of a highly anticipated book on that. So you can see what the AI is going to do. Again, if you're of nervous disposition, I want you to look away. If you're somebody that is afraid of things, I want you to look away. Confident? Who's got the stopwatch? Let's count. 2, 1, and 0. I click it now. Ladies and gentlemen, he wrote the chapter. He gave us the references. Anti and counterfeit. Look at what he said here. Can you see it? Can you outline? The person that suggested this title, are you happy with what we're doing so far? Come up the mic and say yes, please. This is the chapter of the book. He gave us chapter 1. And he's asking us 3 more questions relating to chapter 1. He's asking us, are we keen to expand to include more of this? So who's this book? Let's talk here. This is a quick demo. And anyone here that has ever designed a poster, if you've ever designed a poster, we have an app, a web app now that is able to do that. Our website is in English, and you want to know the money you earn right now. The site is in English language alone, and you want to double to be able to the French-speaking audience, right? You want to get hold of those that are Spanish-speaking. You want to get hold of German-speaking. I would tell an app that is available that would the entire website to your target language in seconds. This is what we now operate in seconds, not hours. This is why somebody was telling me, I don't know whether BBC interview, somebody was saying that Professor Imafidon promised to double the hours in your day. This is what I'm saying. All the tasks you are doing now, I can do everything you are doing in half the time, and therefore you have 3 to watch television, to play with your kids, to spend time with your wife, to go for to do whatever you like. No, ChatGPT, yes, because ChatGPT, I don't use ChatGPT. What I'm using now is not ChatGPT. Using a trained version of a newer that can wipe up everything on the internet. So if you are keen on this, just as we did chapter 1, of course it does. Somebody is asking, does it do macro and Excel? Of course it does. This is what I'm. If you are an accountant and you are using Sage or using any of the new electronic, what they call accounting or electronic, I will show you what we did at office. That's the Lord Mayor of London. with the new accounting AI-based that wowed everybody and knew that the job of an accountant, as you knew it in your undergraduate days, cannot exist after 12 months. Let me say this slowly. When you went to accounting school, you were taught this, and you worked on that and you memorized it. And since you graduated, you've been using those tools. It happened just like the fax machine. Because the email and the email attached, that has changed everything. Everything. So if your ChatGPT is giving you error, how much training? The current ChatGPT that is in the market, the standard, does not have facilities for current website. You have to have a paid one to pay a premium. But even after you have paid, the facilities that you then have, paid one, is nothing compared to open source on AI. That's about writing a book, or you're writing any report, or you're writing any thesis, or you're writing business plan. I can take you through. It will be very easy for you to do because we are doing it in seconds. So you have more time to be able to now edit it, reread it, and polish it. Just like I did for Princess Diana in terms of her biography that I was fortunate to do. Okay, now I'm going to take some questions before I go back to my slides. I'm only on slide, oh my goodness.
Hello, Prof. Can I interrupt for a minute? There are a few people waiting to be admitted. Only you have control. Can you help us do that?
Okay, so far, so good. Every single person tried to enter. I've interrupted my talk to just click enter, enter. I'm admitting all. So there should be nobody on the corridor. Nobody. Okay.
My second question I've typed in the chat, and it's about how do you tackle plagiarism and originality. I have an experience a week ago where somebody was in for a job with me, and when the answer came in, I said it's impossible to do this in 1 hour. And the head department went ahead, checked it out in AI, produced a similar thing, and we came to the conclusion this wasn't your answer, it was from AI. How do we tackle that?
Okay, now put new wine in old wineskin. I believe every single person in education today, all of us, must eat humble pie and go to ground zero and start all over again. Because the curriculum I delivered last, the time just ended now, for my master's level students, I personally was not satisfied with it because I interface with the industry all the time. I know the tools they are going to be using today is different from the tools we are giving them today. So the educational system, from the head of department to the cleaner in the department, must know that there's been a paradigm shift. Paradigm shift means everything we did before cannot be done the same. Because when my great-grandfather were planning to travel, they planned and carried food for 6 weeks to travel from London, 6 weeks. And some of them died of seasickness. Now, when my parents then came along, they traveled between Lagos and London in 6 hours. Listen to this. The paradigm shift occurred in transportation. For traveling from Lagos to London by ship, that was on waters. Now, my parents come along and the way the pilot does is different from the way the captain does things. What we have right now, all education, is preparing the students for the industries of yesterday and not for the workplace of tomorrow. We teach them one thing, that means how to learn. Number two, learn. Number three, how to relearn. I said three things now. What we should be laying, we cannot teach them the technicalities of tomorrow because none of us know what 10 years is like. All of you saw Richard Branson, Elon Musk, you all saw them, and Jeff Bezos. I can't talk too much about someone going behind the scene. They are all going to space. Do you know why they are going to space? Develop intergalactic. If you're on this call, listen to this. Let me intergalactic travel is. It means that when you travel from Lagos to London, your craft goes first of all into outer space and is reflected back to Earth. So it will be 15 minutes to travel from Beijing to Benin, and 15 minutes to travel from Benin to New York. 15 minutes to travel from New York to Los Angeles. That means any 2 points on Earth will be traveled intergalactically. I know it's difficult for us to imagine that now. So going for zero space is, I mean, some people were asking me, is it really true? Because my post on that, those of you that follow me on Twitter and IG, Instagram, you will have seen some of my posts on this. They are not playing. They are experimenting with the next form of human. So those in education must wake up and know that the motto I'm using now to teach my was designed in 1440. 1440. You cannot use that to train the Gen Z. Gen Z are digital natives, hand in the pocket, and they use one hand to operate their phone. And to them, it's fun. All of them are on TikTok. Now they've all migrated to. If you are going to have this type of Gen Z, and you are holding on to this bilingual old-fashioned dictionary, say French and English, we've lost the game because they now know more than us because they have access to limitless information. And we are holding on to our PhD, our masters, our DSc. Those are not really Gen Z. Anybody on this call, I challenge you. I'm going to show you one AI program now that 6-year-old kids how to understand undergraduate maths. I'm not even talking about 6th form. I'm not talking about 11 now. I mean, somebody in the first year of primary school has access to information of the last year of secondary school. I mean, how do you square that? The educational system is going to be completely rebooted. If not, always be laughing at us because they know that their cell phone powerful than the biggest military army in the world. They know it's not that you and I, we are dinosaurs and we're hanging on to relic of yesterday that is totally irrelevant in tomorrow's world. If you're a preacher here, I'm going to do a sermon for you. I'll do a sermon for you in less than 45 seconds. Just like we did now. These are tools. Dick 50 is another one. I don't know whether we have time for Dick 50. To show you how you can put text inside and it will generate an image of you talking to that died last year. So folks, there is a paradigm shift. If we don't reorientate ourselves, we'll go dizzy. And I don't want us to fall down. In this new information age, we must embrace it. I've got two more questions. Christina, Aride, and Omonua. Are you able to type the question in the chat box, or the power is limited to what is available on the internet? How do you know when this information is not available? Okay. No, the power of AI is not limited to what is on the internet. The power of AI is limitless. It depends on what you train. Let me show you one example of AI that is not based on some AI that use the internet. There are some AI that are off the internet because they've had them giving data and trained on data. I should show you this. Let me show you. I'll blow your mind. Those of you that like me, just listen to this. I'm going to show you something to demonstrate. And I'm going to ask you a question now because we did an generates. If questions, please make sure you write it in the chat box. I'll read them out and then we can tackle it. Good.
Somebody here.
This is the third symphony. Okay, now I'm going to ask you a simple question. This is
four continents.
okay.
Oh no! I thought you make it so you get it from Nigeria. Yeah, I don't get my own from Nigeria. No, I don't have. Oh, okay.
I'm going to make sure I get this up.
Hello, Professor.
Okay. Okay, I want you to listen very carefully. Listen very carefully. Listen to this music. Tell me whether it was written by Mozart or by Bach. This is D minor. Listen to this very carefully. I have a ticket that is worth £1,997. I have a ticket that is worth £1,997. And that ticket goes to somebody that can accurately guess who composed this music. Was it by Bach? Was it by Mozart? Was it by Handel? Or any other? This is a serious matter. You heard enough. Type it now in the. Who composed that music you heard now? Who composed that music? Oh, where am I? Supposed to be an activity-based learning, you know. Who composed that music?
Prof, could you play for maybe another 5 minutes, please?
You want me to play it again? Okay. Because of God, I'll play it.
Thank you.
Who composed those? Okay. When they played this music to university professors, 9 out of 10 gave the wrong answer. University professors of music, not of literature, not of drama. So what I'm trying to tell you, it's too late. They have already left it out, the genie out of the bottle. At Murphy's Eye Hospital, there's something called Deep Mind. There's something called Deep Mind. they ask it to see, because I told you AI can see. This is what I'm saying, it's not just web-based. The popular ones, the ones you've seen, like they used in Wimbledon. Wimbledon was AI. I don't know whether you heard that. The entire tennis match that was played from the first round to the at Wimbledon was 100% AI. So the reason why I'm putting emphasis on this is that you that is here easily be running a 6-figure business, $6 million from a section of your computer, not the full computer. So you understand that the tool we have in our hands is too powerful for anybody to even begin to do. So apart from the books and the music, who can guess what else the AI can do to you? Your professional responsibility of advising people is done by AI. Let me just go and show you this. I'll show you quickly this because I'm going to come back and take some more questions. All right? I'm taking you to a place called Hatai. This is a therapy. So if you now, okay, let me share my screen again. This is a therapist. So if you are giving advice today, go advice. You have fought, or you quarreled with your employer, or you are annoyed with the weather, you ask it a question. Look at this. Say, I'm very sad today because I heard news about, say, my friends with long COVID. And doctors are unsure of any medications to help. Okay, this is the question. This is like a therapist, and I hit enter. Listen to this. What? Okay, can you see that? Did you see what he said? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Long COVID can be very frustrating and scary, and lack of information can make it even more overwhelming. Would you like to tell me a bit more about your friend's experience with long COVID? So now, the symptoms, I can write the symptoms include tiredness, blurry vision, insomnia, etc. Okay, now I've typed in there. Look at what it's telling me. Those are definitely long COVID, though everyone experiences it differently. Has your friend been experiencing symptoms for a long time? Have they been to especially like a long COVID clinic to get help? Did you see this? Did you see this? So when I'm telling you, from medicine to law to engineering about construction, robots are already doing it in China and Japan. Robots are already doing it. Any physical job today is irrelevant. You can program, I'll take you to the car manufacturing plant. Produces 100 cars every, not one single human being inside. That's even old news. If you have an Oyster card, how many of us have a type Oyster? If you have an Oyster card, type Oyster, and then let me show you something that wipe the earth. Because the strike, some of you don't understand why the train strike and the tube strikes and the wildcard strike were long. Go back to 1987. When you went to the train, there was a human being there that looked at you and asked where you were going and told you what ticket to buy. There was a physical human being. And then told you which platform to go to catch the train. But June 2000, try this and find this out. June 2000, they introduced this quote unquote a trial that will assist passengers to be able to access without human intervention. That's the fundamental. So that's why I kept saying that AI is not just the internet. AI can be network, AI can be standalone. The city of that or Peace for African Voice, and the people I signed an NDA with. NDA is non-disclosure agreement. I did the piece. I just did it as a professor now. As a teacher is supposed to teach. Do you know it causes? Because some of the AI proprietary programs had their name mentioned here, and they don't want public domain. So if this, I'm ready to make sure everybody on this call gets it. 52 things every single person in business, whether you are employed by business or you are the owner of the business, it doesn't matter. You're a professional. You not just know about ChatGPT, because that's the one that I'm about, but other applications that are in your cell phone today, is still in your cell phone, that is more powerful than ChatGPT. 2 hours is not enough for me to go through all of this. So if you're interested in that, thank you for those that typed AI. I promised you the ticket, and I'm going to make sure I make it available to you. And on Tuesday, there is a special meeting at LSE. If you back channel me, or if you follow me on LinkedIn, if you send me an email is old, very old technology. Let me tell all of you that. Those of you that are still hanging on to email. And those of you that are still using WhatsApp, we're praying for you. Because again, we've been overtaken. Application, sharper application, more space efficient application, and memory saving application. The tools we use in my school, started using one tool, AI tool, not web again. And half of it was on the web, the other half was not on the web. So teach difficult concepts without any human intervention. Oh no, you shouldn't be scared. Excited. Anybody hearing this must be excited because this is not the world we're born into, and we didn't bring it on ourselves. Technology evolved, and that thing called COVID and the lockdown pushed everything. So your phone now made it in. For things they have the right is the law is part of the see is part of it help some. I don't remember is this need of the cause $3 long life. In event see you put this as so different sense go on that does in go or switch go if you have back to like US dollars to the the is in the that it's all the make you of you that and do you say why are people, or do you think that would generate additional stream of income? You need to answer that question. But I don't mind you using that cell phone for entertainment after office hours, but you cannot use it. It's just too late because you are wasting valuable tool. I have working in Accra, Ghana today, and they are working on all the patient records for a clinic and the big hospital attached to it in Atlanta, Georgia. Because like you know, Ghana is 5 hours ahead of Atlanta. So they pull out the patient records, check, validate it, all of them done in Ghana on a cell phone. Ladies and gentlemen, not on a laptop. So if you have your cell phone making excuses, say you can't do medical transcription, you are lying. You can't do editing, you are lying. You can't do posters, of course you are lying. It's because you are using the wrong apps in your cell phone. And I don't want anybody on this call to ever go back to the bad old days. It's called boom. Bad old ways. You can't. Because the opportunities that has now befallen us because of what they tried to do to all of us inside that COVID lockdown. Oh, somebody was asking me earlier, you know, when I put this up, they were asking me about Boris Johnson. Do you know why the Prime Minister was reluctant to give his cell phone out to those investigating the COVID thing? Do you want to know? Conspiracy theory, ladies and gentlemen. This is economic practice and theory. Now you don't even need to be to high school If you are not in high school, fine. If you're in high school, fine. You don't need engineering. You just need to be able to select and then cut and paste. Select, cut and paste. Somebody was copyright and plagiarism. Let me answer that. If you go to one website and copy all your work, and that is plagiarism, submit it as your own. If you go to 15 different websites and copy what is there, and then put the list of the website where you copied from under a place called referencing, or some people call it references, others call it bibliography, others call it annotated bibliography, depending on what stage you are in. I want you to know very clearly, hear me loud and clear, that the person that provided the references gets a distinction. This is the new marking scheme that is going to be implemented in the new year. So, thank you, folks. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for your contribution. And I want to encourage anyone that is still keen on this and wants to hear more because of the constraint of time. I want to let you know that the opportunity is now available. All you need to do is slide a DM to the EIE program, slide a DM, just slide us a DM, or some of you pick the telephone number from the slides. Send us a WhatsApp message. Send us a WhatsApp message, and we will be able to collaborate with individuals or groups of individuals that are ready to take this discussion to demonstration. Enough of conversation. This is time for action. Thank you very much, and I enjoyed my